When did you realize your friends were actually fake friends? Went to pick up my Xbox 360 a friend was borrowing, and a whole group of friends were there. They had spent the entire day playing games with snacks and pizza, and I had not been invited. And now I was in the situation of being the douche who takes the bull home and ruins the fun for everyone. I took my Xbox and never spoke to anyone in that group again. Wait. They borrowed your Xbox to have a gaming party. Without you. What the ever-loving duck. Okay, those guys are slime, and you are so better off without such morally bankrupt dickwads. Even if the very worst case scenario is that there's something about your personality that doesn't jibe with the rest of them, you lent your friend your gaming console in good faith in the spirit of genuine friendship. Taking advantage of that is scummy. Better you find out that they're scum now than keep investing in a dead end of putzery. Back in my first year of college, I used to have a group of friends, like 7 dudes with me included. We always hang out together, and we are used to have this group chat where we discuss about anything from class subjects to random things. After a year, I noticed that one of the guys, let's just call him Randy, keeps getting excluded, not invited/informed to group hangout, while they're talking smack behind his back. And the unofficial leader of the group actually made a whole new group chat, inviting everyone, myself included, except Randy without his knowledge. I know what it feels to be left out. I experienced that in middle school, and it's really awful. I stopped hanging out with them, and I starts hanging out with Randy. He's quite eccentric, but a very good person at heart. We've been friends for more than 6 years, and he still got my back. Good for you to be his friend. Most people would have been too cowardly to go against the group. I'm proud of you. So many people see others being excluded/bullied and do nothing mostly out of fear of being excluded themselves. When I slowly realized I was only around for chores and errands. Rides to the airport, pick up furniture, help move. Anything social always resulted in either last-minute cancellations, showing up 45 minutes late, and bolting after 10 minutes. I thought they were busy, but no. They stopped inviting me to hang out. They would ask me to drive them to parties, but not invite me to go to the parties. They basically ghosted me for a while. They were once such amazing and important friends, but they gradually became really arrogant. It took a way longer than it should have to give up and find other people. Dude. The group of friends I gave up on would do this to this guy we know. They'd invite him to hang out, only so he could drive us. One time they didn't let him into the club, so I decided to stay behind with him and watch movies at his house. He even had the decency to go back for my friends when the club closed. I'm no longer friends with them, but I'm still friends with the guy, and he even helped me get together with my boyfriend. I don't give him enough props, lol. Whenever we were supposed to hang out, something came up, and that something was hanging out with other mutual friends. Yes. My best friend in high school used to do this to me all the time. On Wednesday, I'd ask if she wanted to see a movie Friday night. She'd always say maybe, if I can get out of doing whatever with my parents. Come Monday, I'd hear her talking about how great the movie was. Apparently, last minute her parents said she didn't have to go, and miraculously a group of people called right then and asked her to see the same movie. She'd always say, I figured you made other plans, when I confronted her about it. In reality, she'd just wait to see what the better option was and pick on Friday. God, that pissed me off. When I was babysitting her kids, things were going great. We would hang out all the time, have movie nights and just talk and chill. But the second she no longer needed a babysitter was the second I got kicked to the curb. No explanation. Not even a text back. Some people will act like your best friend until they no longer need you. They're lost though. Yep, this happened to me, but more generally. Had a friend who would only contact me when she needed something, but she was pretty sly about it in the beginning, inviting me over to hang and then bringing up the favor organically, like, oh, we don't have anyone to watch the dog next weekend, or I want to move this bed, but it's so heavy, etc. After a while it got more egregious and obvious, only calling to ask to use my truck or dog sit. I'd politely say I wasn't available and eventually she stopped calling. She still texts every now and then to catch up. She tried that a few times in the past and it was always followed by a request, despite my no longer responding. To this day I cringe when someone says hi friend, her freaking catchphrase. When I was in school, all my friends and I did different A-levels. Despite us all having different lessons to each other, they would wait for each other to go to lunch together, but they would always forget me. Like I'd come out and they wouldn't be there, so I'd have lunch by myself. And then they'd come back and tell me they thought I was with them. I was the only one they didn't wait for. I've only seen one of them since we left school. She had forgotten my name. So that sucked. That happened to me. One time my friends all sat at a lunch table that was full and I was sat on one that was completely empty, and so I asked them to come sit by me and they said no. Those people suck. I was invited to the bachelorette party for one of the friends in this group. While at the party, I figured out that I was the only person not invited to the wedding. I had been invited to the party because they needed another person to chip in for expenses. What kind of human scum does that? It's amazing what people will do to get what they want, because they deserve a perfect wedding experience. I flew out to support a friend going through a messy divorce. While I was there, she left me in the apartment to meet up with her boyfriend that I didn't know about. He turned out to have just been released from prison for manslaughter. Once she told me that, I told her that I didn't want to spend time with him, especially considering the circumstances of my visit. The next night, I woke up in the middle of the night to find him in the living room. She said that she thought it wouldn't matter since I was asleep. The next day, she invited her soon-to-be ex-husband over without telling me and then asked me to meditate their conversation once he got there. That conversation turned ugly fast, and she ended up storming out. He broke down and asked if I thought it was salvageable, and I told him that she had already moved on. Maybe not the best idea on my part, but at that point, she had shown me how vile of a person she is. He broke down and asked if I thought it was salvageable, and I told him that she had already moved on. Maybe not the best idea on my part. No, it was the right idea. You were being a good to that guy. To my divorce. We were couples friends, not individually. My wife and I separated, and she got the majority of our friends. Almost nobody checked in on me to see how I was doing. Then we decided to work it out and stay together, and now there's a whole list of people's birthdays I don't have to remember. That's an inspiring sentence. Now there's a whole list of people's birthdays I don't have to remember. Thanks. This was also when I realized who were my friends and who weren't. We were supposed to go to a tour and we saved our money and pulled them. Fake friends told me they had to cancel the plan because ticket prices got too high, told me to wait a few days to get my money back. Real friends asked me why I bailed on them and were worried that I had an emergency. Turns out my fake friends didn't want me to come and instead would use my money for their booze, and told everyone else that I bailed out and took my money back so everyone else would give more for their booze allowance. That friendship ended, and I also learned my fake friends were alcoholics and weren't strangers to ducking over people to get what they want. Today one of them is alive. Their alcoholism ruined their lives and some even died from it. Did you enjoy this video? If so, make sure to subscribe for more.